there's another quote that I love from your article that kind of touches on a bit of that, of sort of how you, I guess, like how you start to step in and have those, like, answer those questions and decide, am I feeling comfortable with this? You make a great quote, says, "Art with grace is beautiful. It is well made, appealing, and layered. Without grace, even the most honest art is merely propaganda. Without truth, the most graceful art is a beautiful lie. And there's nothing more dangerous than a beautiful lie,"
That's
which
so
is obviously where
poetic.
I know. I was like, it's one of those things. You're like, hey, I wish I wrote that. It's one of but maybe explain to me, because that's obviously where the article title itself, "Beautiful Lie," that's sort of a foundational. Maybe explain a bit, because I think there's a lot of, I don't know, there's a lot of meat to that quote and that some of that content. Maybe explain a bit what you meant by sort of that balance of grace and truth.
Yeah. And the balance of grace and truth, I wish I could take credit for it. I started thinking about because my freshman year, we actually had Andrew Peterson visit campus, who is amazing singer, songwriter, storyteller. You can go on and on.
I'm such an Andrew Peterson fanboy.
Yes.
So.
But he had a Q&A and was asked if it's better for Christian art to ask questions or answer questions. And it was interesting because he took the question in this direction instead, of how sometimes more important than asking, well, does it outline all of the answers to Christianity? Does it do all of this? Does it do all this? It's more important to ask, is it beautiful and is it true? And I think that's a balance that we need to be talking about more as Christian storytellers, because yes, truth is very important. We all agree that truth is very important. We want to be spreading the good news and the things that we believe in, the things that we know are true. But if it isn't done beautifully, no one's going to care. Even the people who agree with us aren't going to care. There are a lot of things out there that I agree with their worldview and I never want to watch in my life. Please don't make me. Because they have no soul. They have no artistry. They're not art. They're a sermon on film. And to some extent, there can be a place for that. But it will not touch people in the same way, and it will not make them think in the same way. And it, to some extent, will not glorify God in the same way if you're not putting your full into it, if you're not putting your artistry into it. But I think the opposite is also true, where sometimes, especially those of us that are going into the arts, we can get so wrapped up in how beautifully something is made or how incredible the talent behind it is, that we can end up excusing more than we think we are. And that can be very dangerous just for ourselves in what are we elevating and what are we modeling ourselves after. And if it's something whose core is against what is true and what we think is true, are we aware of that while we're looking at these things? So that was something I kind of wanted to bring to light a little bit.
Yeah, and I think it's almost, I mean, I don't think it's almost, I think it's pretty clearly more dangerous or concerning or just meaty, like to go from that perspective. Like, I think if something's true, true, but not beautiful, then I think everyone tunes it out. Even the people that agree with what's being talked about don't necessarily, like a lot of the back, I think we've grown beyond it, but like some of the old like Christian movies were that. It's like, hey, this is true. I agree with everything happening in it, but my goodness, this is a terrible movie. Like, there's nothing cinematic about this. I'm not convinced, and I affirm the message. Like, I think that doesn't convince, but I think you can, like, the other way, if something it's beautiful but not true, because you can still enjoy the beauty of it. It can suck you in a bit more, that like, okay, yeah, it's not true, but it's just so good. Like, I know there's been a couple of movies and stuff that, because I review movies I wouldn't normally like go out to see, and it's like there are definitely movies where like, this is just so good, but like the more I think about it, but it's so problematic. Like, it's so, like I have issues with like every underlying philosophy in this movie, but like, it's just so good. And like, what do you do with those things and I think maybe reviewing it is slightly different than like just watching it for entertainment. There's different, I don't know how you balance them, but what do you think that, like, this sort of that, I guess that balance of sort of the good, the true, the beautiful, like, because I think there is that, especially I think people that appreciate the arts, like I know you, like Naya is a film school graduate. Sabina, you're in school for that. Like, I think I don't know. I think the ones that can like appreciate the technical side too, like the craftsmanship, is almost more. Like, you got to be more intentional to like to back up. I think, and because it's like, well, this is so good. Like, you so appreciate that, and I think you should. But what do you think? Like, how do you sort of navigate some of that?
Oh, I don't know. I mean, I agree with everything you said. I think I do let a few more things slide than maybe you do, Daniel. I don't know about you, Sabina, but I think I don't know. For me, the hard line that I have is like sex on screen. I'm just like, no one needs to see that. But other than that, it's really difficult to decide whether or not something is worth watching or not worth watching. I don't know. I don't have an answer for you, Daniel.
Well, the answer for people is just you just go to the collision.org, and that's where you can that's where you can tell the whether or not
they got you covered, guys. You're good.
Yeah.